Well, that brings me to question too, because we talked a little bit about how, it's hard on our families. Like, we ask a lot of our families, and we sometimes forget, like, we're barbershoppers, but we're people, and we've got jobs and other hobbies and family members and illnesses and financial things and everything. So let's hear a little bit about Gimme 4 outside of the barbershop world. Like, what is tell us a little bit about your life that has nothing to do with barbershop.
That's actually really easy for me to start with. I don't do anything other than barbershop.
That's not true at all.
We can just get that right out of the way. Guys, who's next?
We'll start with Joey, and we'll go around this way.
There we go.
So
okay, so yeah, so I mean, I have a wife and a son. He's 2 years old, and he loves it. He's super musical and excited. Loves to meet new people, and the kid literally, you put him to sleep and he sings for like 40 minutes before he actually goes to sleep. My dad wrote a Facebook post the other day. He's like, he was like, with Joseph and Connor, and we had a great night, and then at the end of the night, Connor went to sleep peacefully, and I was like, these are half truths.
Yeah. Everything you see on social media is a lie.
Yeah, he went to sleep peacefully. He hasn't slept peacefully, gotten to sleep peacefully ever in his entire existence. He sat there and sang The Wheels on the Bus as he stared defiantly into the monitor. But man, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of my son, and just the way how outgoing he is, and wanting to meet people and be involved. Like when
that's so cool, man. I want to hear about you, not your son.
No, I'm just kidding. Do you really though? No, I mean, like,
it's the family.
I love your son. He's
the Family Guy meme.
Man.
Look at pictures of my kid.
Yeah. But other than that,
who are you? Well, here's my kid. Yeah. This is my identity right here.
I mean, like,
this is who I am for the next 18 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's some truth to that.
There's such truth to that.
A lot of truth to it,
dude.
I make if professionally, I make warm places into cold places. I mean,
and vice versa, or just warm.
It used to be vice versa.
Recently
started a new job.
Now it's just warm places to cold places. I do refrigeration, so
for air conditioning units and stuff.
I used to do air conditioning.
I got some
units.
issues, bro.
Well, okay.
We can take a look.
This is how this conversation goes every time. It's like, well, my it's making this noise. What does that mean? And Joe's like,
Okay.
I do inventory. I'm not a tech.
That's
yeah. So that's what I do professionally. I'm in the.
Love that.
Yeah, it's a cool job.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, it took me 3 seconds to get it. Now I get it. How many times have you used that joke?
Today.
Every.
That's, as far as you know, it's reserved for you.
Where did you grow up?
Caldwell, right where East Coast Sound
cool.
meets. Yeah, I was at West Caldwell, James Caldwell High School. Yeah,
whole quartet actually.
The
same
whole quartet.
Oh,
from
really?
The same town. Yeah.
See, this is what makes you guys.
That's actually one of the things. I was going to say that earlier. One of the things that makes that has made our journey special is the fact that we got to be like bad together. We got to be like, we got to be.
It's very true.
We got to be like, we didn't like get together because it was going to be like this rock star thing. It was like, hey, you want to get together and be mediocre? And it was like, yeah, we do actually.
And mediocre we were.
No, it was just.
I do credit it a lot to us sticking together though, because like you see quartets where you have these big gaps in skill, and I feel like a lot of times just doesn't work because the more experienced singers, they lose patience for that, and we never had that. We were always kind of riding that same wave. The coaching was always kind of on the same level for all four of us, and we just kind of did it together, and that's what was cool about it.
That's awesome. And that is cool really cool. I mean, you don't see that very often. I think if I was another quartet that kind of embodies that, I would think of like Around Midnight.
Yeah,
for
sure.
They've been around for 20 years.
They started out scoring like 65 or something like that.
And they've been doing it for 20 years, quartet. And now they're, that's pretty neat, man. And you guys
I really hope they're coming back to international this year. I think they are.
I hope so.
I think so.
Did anybody hear?
Love those guys. I haven't heard.
Breaking news here on the podcast, no?
Yeah. Do you have a sounder?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Man, that's awesome, dude. Local, HVAC, sun. Love it, dude.
Cool job.
What about you, Will?
So I'm a music teacher.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know any barbershoppers that do that.
But I teach middle school strings, so I was
Strings?
I am a violin player. I was a violin player. I didn't even really start singing until like senior year of high school, and then also kind of put it away all during college. I didn't make it into the a cappella group my first 2 years at college, and then stopped trying. So I was pretty much just
crazy.
playing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you might listen to our second CD and say, man, he probably learned this Devil Went Down to Georgia just for this specific moment.
Thanks.
But no.
Other way around, baby.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
And then just after college, Joey said we all went to the same high school. We're not like the awesome brothers in arms who have stayed together at being a high school quartet. We weren't a quartet in high school.
Right, that's because Joey and I are young and you and Dave are old.
There we go.
Yeah.
I see.
So Dave and I were the same graduating class, and when Dave moved back from college, he started going to Dapper Dan's rehearsal every Tuesday, and I was like, when are you going to invite me? And he was like, do you want to come? I was like, yes, that's why I asked. And
Dapper Dan's are very exclusive. I don't know.
I haven't invited you because you didn't make your acapella group.
So then that's how the quartet formed. But I have a wife, Lisa, as well, and a son, Jordan. What's been cool is that our sons are only about 6 months apart,
how cool.
even less.
Yeah.
And so they've grown up together and will continue to.
Wow.
So we've been on that journey together. I'll never forget. We were actually recording our second album, and I came into the room. I was like, I don't even. How did I say it?
You said
Connor was They were both of our wives were expecting. Connor wasn't even born yet. You remember this?
Yes, I do. I remember it very vividly. You said we were about to go over to our microphones, and you said, before we start, Joey, just quick question: are you ready for Connor to have a little playmate?
You didn't get it at first. You're like, what are you talking?
He's like, yeah, sure.
Hey.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
That's kind of weird because Nick and Anthony have both had their babies a month apart. Like both of them, their first
twice.
Sons were born very, very close, like a month apart, and now they're their due dates are 3 days apart.
Really?
Wow, that's crazy.
It's kind of weird.
That's crazy.
Almost like they're almost like it's a plan because it's too many.
Well, because then you don't have to navigate so many due dates when you're getting gigs. You just be like, okay, we just block out this chunk of time where we can't take gigs, right?
Meanwhile, I've been in my quartet for almost 4.5, almost 5 years, and there has been a pregnant wife, not mine, for that entire time.
Someone
has always been pregnant. I'm pretty sure.
Your quartet needs to calm down.
Your quartet's repopulating the earth, my man.
Your quartet is trying to take over by sheer numbers.
I take no responsibility.
Bro.
Maybe very briefly, but I'm pretty sure there's been someone pregnant the entire time.
Goodness gracious, man. The First Take Village.
Seriously.
First Take VLQ coming to you in 2035.
Well, they say when it comes to raising kids, they always say, "Oh, it takes a village." Well, they've got the village, so they're good. They can support all they need.
Village. It's the opposite.
The village is
the village people.
Jeez. Dude, that's awesome, Will. That's great.
So
man.
that's pretty much.
Did you bring your violin? Can we get a little?
No.
Grab one of your guitars off the wall, though. Here,
you got a bow.
Yeah, you got the
Make it work.
Have you ever seen those little pick bows?
I have. I've never used one.
I've never used one too.
It looks pretty cool.
I ordered one off some ad I saw on Facebook and it never came.
It never came?
Yeah, I'm kind of mad. I'm sure. I'm
they
pretty
won't
sure
be
it was one of those,
sponsoring the podcast anytime soon.
I think it was one of those scam ads. You know how you see on Facebook,
Yeah,
they'll be like, this really cool thing. It'll be like super cheap. And then you click on it and like the website is some like obscure name and it's like, PayPal, go pay for it, go quick, come on, pay us, give us money, and then they never send anything. Yeah, but I think that's what happened.
I'll send you an old bow and you can cut it down.
Sweet. All right, what about you, Paul?
Well, so obviously grew up in Caldwell as well with the rest of the guys in the quartet. So I guess some barbershop history first. When I was in middle school, I saw the Retro Men, which is the high school male a cappella group that Will now directs, full circle. I saw them and I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, I want to do that, right? So when I got to high school,
Just most people's reaction to it.
Of course, naturally. So the first thing I did when I got to high school is I found out when the Retro Men rehearsals were. Went to the rehearsal, got into it, was enjoying it.
Nice.
Funnily enough, I don't even know if you guys know this or you may have forgotten because it could have been a while.
The story of your first midwinter?
No, we'll get to that. Mike DeAndrea, the director of the group at the time, put me on baritone. I sang one rehearsal on baritone. I was like, this sucks.
This is the worst.
I went right up to him afterward and I was like, can I sing lead instead? He's like, yeah, sure. And I enjoyed it significantly more. So I actually sang lead for quite a while when I started. But after just maybe a month or two of those rehearsals, I was really getting into it. And Mike D'Andrea, the same guy, said to me, hey, we also have this other chorus that rehearses. It's like a similar thing. It's on Tuesday nights, and the rest is history. Like I went to my first Dapper Dan's rehearsal and like went straight into it, and I loved it.
Nice.
What year in high school was that?
Freshman year.
You were going since freshman. Wow,
Yep.
I don't think
started
I knew that.
the second I got to high school. I went right to Retroman rehearsals and ended up joining the Dans right after that. Wow. So, and then TriStar Chorus formed, which is I assume what you were going to refer to.
Yes.
And it was like this really cool thing, and it's going to be going to the Midwinter Convention and all this stuff. I was petrified of flying, and so I declined to participate because I was afraid to fly.
No,
that's not. You didn't want to fly.
That's not the story I was thinking.
Well, I guess we can get to that one.
I think you have to preface it by saying that Paul is the most avid Barbershop fan in the quartet by a country mile.
Possibly on planet Earth.
I love it, dude. I love it.
There's probably some people out there that would challenge you for that, but
I invite them to bring it on. But regardless, I do know what you're talking about now.
I text two people when I have questions about weird barbershop lore because they haven't been doing it.
It's P-Mac and me?
No, it's you and Francesco.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to P-Mac, too, though. He's got
P-Mac's
that
got
knowledge
some.
locked away. But in any event, my story's ending up longer than everyone else's, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it.
And it's surrounding completely around Barbershop, so that too.
So Mike called my...
Yeah, KJ, tell us about yourself outside of Barbershop.
I told you before. I already warned you. I already warned you. There's nothing else going on there. So Mike D'Andrea calls my mom and goes, hey, he's not going to do this because he's afraid to fly. And my mom was like, that's dumb. He should do it. He's like, okay, I'm going to put him on the list. And that's how I ended up in TriStar Chorus and how I ultimately ended up with East Coast Sound. Yeah.
But didn't you at that first convention not go to the shows?
Yes. So I went. So at the first convention, yes, I sat in the room playing video games on my Nintendo DS almost the entire convention. I sang with the chorus,
because
obviously.
You were just nervous? Or?
No, I just wanted to play video games, which hasn't really changed much, to be honest with you.
I guess.
But I was forced to go to the Saturday night show, and I saw OC Time sing I saw OC Time sing that was their silver medal year, and I saw them sing with Tom Metzger on bass because Corey Hunt was having eye surgery, and absolutely transformational experience. That was when I fell in love with Barbershop. Was right then. I saw that and I was like, oh my god! I still have my signed OC Times CD with 3 of their signatures.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I mean, that was like the moment that everything changed for me.
You haven't gotten Corey to go sign it yet?
No, but I actually should now that you mentioned it.
You should have brought it to.
I should have brought it to Della.
Wherever it was.
When OC Times got hired to come do Della.
Right, which was just this past
last year.
Yeah, exactly. I should have thought of that, but I didn't. Outside of Barbershop, as promised, I work in finance, in treasury specifically, for a private equity firm in the city.
Oh, nice.
I still live in Caldwell. Great town. May always be there. Who knows?
Guys love Caldwell.
Naturally, he's the treasurer for the... Oh, wait, no.
I'm not the treasurer for either of the choruses, which is great, actually.
Oh, that's
I love
hilarious.
not being the treasurer for the choruses.
Or the committee.
Or for the committee, for the
Really?
JHE, yeah.
Anthony is definitely
great.
our treasurer. He's our finance tax geek.
Yeah,
so.
Anthony also works in the private equity space.
He does?
Which is,
Same.
he and I have nerded about that a couple times.
Yep.
So, yeah, I spend a good amount of time working and a very good amount of time singing Barbershop. Happily divorced, which may be connected to those things, not sure.
Happily divorced.
He did not see that coming.
Got him.
I was like,
KJ did
I
not
literally
see
thought you
that
were going to say
coming.
married. You're like, happily divorced. I was like, oh, skirt.
We're going to work that into the show package.
Yeah, right.
Paul is very happy about it.
You can see that. He's grinning ear to ear.
Listen,
It's
man,
like,
life's good, dude. Life's good.
Wow, man. More time for Barbershop.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You don't have kids, right?
No.
Yeah, no kids. That's my security system telling me that it's dying.
Well, hilariously, your security system just said communication failure, which once again may have something to do with the divorce. I can't say for sure.
Look at that. That's awesome, man.
His only children are around his wrists.
Yeah, I'm a big watch enthusiast.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
First thing when we sat down, he's like, "Hey, you're not wearing your Rolex." And he's like, "Yeah, it's because I ended up wearing this blue Gimme 4 shirt, and I didn't want to wear my green watch. It just didn't match."
Yeah.
You're a watch guy, huh?
I'm a big watch guy.
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
I've spent
Me
far
too.
too
I
much
got
money
this.
on
He's going to a watch podcast right after this, actually.
that. Sounds really fun.
And the watch
Where is
convention.
it? Where is it?
You guys all just stand in a square 4 and just like sync up your watches with each other. And like,
Barber watch. Paul's two favorite things at once.
that's
Oh my
amazing.
god, that's really funny. Instead of standing around and singing tags,
Tag.
hey, do you guys want to sync up your
Let's
watches?
sync up our watches. You guys want to do some stopwatch? Let's do it. Let's see who's got.
Amazing.
Isn't that funny though? There's so many conventions and weird like, niche
Little hobbies.
Oh, yeah.
like that where they do weird things and have their own little, like Comic-Cons and, anime conventions and
No, those are like mainstream now. There's
those
are
conventions,
pretty huge,
There's
yeah.
conventions
For
for like the
everything.
nichest, like sub niche of
Yeah.
sub niche, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
model trains and like
Yeah,
the
dude.
specific types of model. Like you think of it, there is a convention for it. Ours are not even close to
Yeah,
the
dude.
smallest
Yeah.
or most niche. Not
it's
even a little.
hilarious, man.
Also, and it's pretty on the flip side of that is when we talk about how we go to our conventions, like our international convention, is like, wow, the society is descending upon a city and a space,
Right.
and it's just like it's dwarfed by the Penn convention that's going to be
Oh,
there
yeah.
next next
the
Tuesday.
Penn convention.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yes.
Penn is
Straight
a
up.
thing.
I
There's
know.
a guy on my Facebook does Penn's. Like Penn's is his thing.
The Penn convention, dude. I got a funny story. I was at a Far Western District convention for Harmony Foundation, and it was in a convention center, so there was multiple ballrooms, and one of the ballrooms was the Barbershop convention for the Far Western District. The other two ballrooms that were surrounding the Barbershop one of them was a little people convention. So it was a lot of little people walking around. And the other one was a cross-dressing convention.
My God.
So you had this
Oh, my word.
unbelievable collision of three worlds. and it was amazing because you would see these four like old barbershoppers standing there singing for these cross-dressers and these little people, and everybody's just laughing and be like, oh, that was amazing. And it was
What a
just this
scene.
weird,
What a
like
scene.
crazy combination of worlds. But it was like these conventions, like you said, there's a convention for
everything,
For
yeah.
everything.
People like to
You know?
connect over things that they have in common or that
Exactly,
they
man.
enjoy.
And it was really cool to see that, like, the initial shock, you were like, what is happening? Am I in an episode of something?
Yeah, this is clearly a setup.
But then you saw like all three of these conventions like start to intertwine and mingle and singing for each other, and it was a really neat thing. But it just highlights just the diversity of humans.
I was just going to ask
know what I mean?
were there any cross-dressing little people that were bouncing back and forth between the conventions?
A cross-dressing little
Or all
person
three,
barbershopper.
yeah.
That was yeah.
the Venn diagram
You never
in the
know.
center.
Yeah, I want to see that Venn diagram. What's the thing in the middle that we all? It was crazy though. It was a really fun experience. But Alex,
Let's hear
what's
about
what's
Alex.
about you?
Outside of barbershop.
Outside of
I follow
barbershop.
instructions, okay?
Thank you very much.
Outside of barbershop.
'Cause you're a lawyer.
Yes, I am a lawyer and I sue insurance companies.
Boom.
Always.
Wha-bam.
I'm a policyholder lawyer or insurance recovery lawyer, which basically means I represent the people that bought the policy, submitted the claim, and got told no. They call my firm or
Huzzah.
me or whoever, and we take it from there. And yeah, I've been a lawyer since 2020. I graduated from law school, and I was barred like very early 2021. I work for a national law firm that's based in Roseland, New Jersey, and
Right next to Caldwell.
yes, next to Caldwell. I am not from Caldwell. I am from Basking Ridge, which is near where I live now in Morristown, New Jersey, about an hour from here. And I live with my wife, Deidre, and outside of singing
Deidre's
barbershop, yeah, Deidre's the best. And yeah, outside of singing barbershop and suing insurance companies, we like to, Deidre and I like to play board games, board game enthusiasts, and
When's that convention?
no, we're
There's
not yet
definitely
at
a
that.
convention
We're
for
not
that.
that. There are conventions. Trust me.
Are there
We're not
lawyer
quite at that.
conventions like y'all?
Oh yeah, I'm
You
going
could-
to
if a
conference.
barbershop and a lawyer, it'd be like the Sing and Sue.
No,
the Sing
there
and
are-
Sue convention. Like
There are insurance lawyer conventions. They call,
yeah.
they call them conferences, but I'm
Yeah.
going to one in May. And
you guys just stand around and like.
Teach him some tax.
Teach them some
What do you do? Yeah,
No,
what would
no.
be your equivalent of a tag at
Hey,
a?
you guys want to rip some briefs real quick?
Yeah, dude. You guys want to sue someone real quick? Let's all do it.
it would probably be like a panel that lets out, and then a bunch of people get into a discussion about whether the duty to defend is triggered by allegations of wrongdoing.
Boring.
This year,
tag.
this year, just do it all on a high B.
No, Christian Hunter and I are actually in the same space. He works for Marsh McLennan, and we're going to go to the.
Awesome.
We're going to be at the same convention.
Well, that's cool.
And
There you go. Then you only have to teach 2 parts.
yeah, so. But yeah, and then I found, as I alluded to earlier, I found Barbershop late. I was 24, 25, something like that, and I had, as I said, I had burnt out, like played to death this CD of Gas House. I think it was like a collection of tracks from Gas House and Keepsake, actually. And,
It was a burn CD.
Yeah, it was a burn CD. And from back when we used to have CDRs and CDRWs and whatever, burns it out, and I was just playing. I just found it in my center console. I was like, I wonder if I could do this. And like smartphones was around then. I was like, well, put in Barbershop. Voices of Gotham came. So I just sort of stumbled in off the streets and discovered the society and what it was. And I was doing that, but getting into New York was sort of tough, so I stepped away for a bit, and then I
sang with Cohesion.
Yeah, I sang with Cohesion, my first quartet.
Nice.
I still fill in with them from time to time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're still singing.
Yeah, at local gigs. But yeah, and the Doug Brown from the Gotham chapter connected me to them, and then I found my way to these guys, and sort of went from there. So
First time I saw you was with Studio 4.
Yeah. Yeah, Studio 4 was my first time at International
Yep.
in 2018. Before that, I sang in a different quartet with Rich Gray from, we were called Bourbon Street 4. It was with Mike Pinto from Mayhem
Oh, yeah.
and Dan Van Wettering from Wheelhouse.
Oh, cool.
That quartet went to District, got 4th place to Da Capo, Gimme 4, and Press Repower.
Not in that order.
Sorry, Da Capo, Press Repower, Gimme 4.
Correct.
Oh, you guys were
And,
third?
yes.
That year? Nice.
Yeah, and then Studio 4 grew out of that, and then I stepped away as I was going into law school.
Nice.
It's a great disappointment from the barbershop world. Everyone was like,
I know.
this tenor. And then you
Seriously.
disappeared.
You're like, Pop Smoke, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't.
Gotta
but
take the bar.
I couldn't. But I couldn't.
Suppose that
Couldn't
was
stay
more
away.
important.
I couldn't stay away, and I was.
Nobody really can.
By like halfway through law school, I was like eagerly looking. I did a couple of auditions and a couple things, and then when Christian Douglas, I think is his professional name, left First Take in its first iteration, I became
Oh, that's right.
a part
Yeah.
of Second Take.
I lobbied
Yeah.
hard for the name change, but they didn't go
doesn't
for
roll
it.
off the tongue as
in
much.
in November of 2019, I auditioned.
Nice.
And yeah, here I am.
Yeah, it was shot.
I can't believe it was that long ago.
I know, right? It feels like it
I
was.
just got a 4-year memory from our first rehearsal.
Wow.
Wow.